Hi, Elton back again, Thinkivity, and with Val, Glazing AI. We've had some great chats. If you've not seen any of the others, definitely go check them out. We'll put the links in. Love just talking about AI. Now, Val and I, we both have a passion for the glazing sector, but a lot of what we're going to talk about is, like it's transferable to other sectors. Although today we are specifically talking about how we can adopt AI, I suppose, in glazing businesses. So let's kick it off and say, Val, what would you say is like the first step that a glazing business, well, any business, but what's the first step to adopting AI, would you say?
It depends, but one of the first that you can really use it, and one of the first things that we pay attention to is safety. So safety first, So, for example, for glass and glazing, and even construction, building industry, so in general, for all these industries, you can use visual AI to track the safety of your site, or if it is glass production, the safety of your workshop. So this visual AI can track if all people in this area use proper PPE, personal protective equipment. So it can analyze who is there, all humans, and if they use hats, glasses, whatever they need to, maybe these jackets, vests. And this is very useful tool that it can track it automatically. And if something's wrong, you can get some notification, alarm, whatever you set. So this can be used in glass and glazing. And safety is really important for many businesses. This is why I believe that many companies will use it just because it's easy. It's easy. You don't need to track it. You don't need to pay your personal attention. And then in glass and glazing business, you can see a lot of AI applications. They come up. Usually, I see that quite often they come with some software or with some machinery, for example, because those who make machines or software, they try to implement AI tools, and they can show you that, listen, we use this AI tool, for example, to analyze the quality of glass that comes up from your tempering furnace. Okay, you can use it. Yes, there are a lot of business tools, and I'm sure that a lot of software developers, a lot of CRM systems developers, they already use AI tools for many years, like we discussed before, that Google, for example, they use the same principles. And I'm sure if we try to make AI glass cutting tool today, it will still use those models that just regular cutting, automatic cutting table uses, that all those math models, like math principles, how to fit the most number of glass into this piece of glass. The same stuff, but maybe it will be much easier. Maybe it will be much faster. Maybe you can apply it for more different things, and it will be more integrated into the system, and overall AI system will be monitoring it. So AI just gives much more possibilities. The same like computers or smartphones.
I love how you've gone straight into almost products that are going to come out, because I think quite often when people think about adopting AI, they're thinking how they need to go and use AI. But actually, pretty much everything you've just said there was where the company providing the tool or the software that's running the tool, they've actually done the AI. They're just providing something for you to use that's using AI. And I think that's quite interesting, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the sector are already using lots of AI and they don't necessarily realize that they are. So when we talk about if they want to explore AI, they probably are. I mean, just simple things. If we look at the Google search screen, we mentioned Google, the first result you get now is actually AI. The person who's saying, Alexa, turn the light off or turn the music up, or hey Siri, we're kind of using AI already. So if there's anybody out there who is absolutely adamant that they are not going to get on board with AI because it's this nasty thing that's going to kill us all off, chances are you're already doing it. You just don't realize. And I think they are some really phenomenal tools. I think in terms of if we bring it down to the sort of AI that most people are thinking about with chat GPTs and images and so on. And we haven't specifically mentioned, but programs like, I don't know, data rails. By the way, there's loads of these different tools, so I'm not recommending any one over another. They change all the time as to which one we'd be talking about. But there are tools that I suppose you use more AI with and tools that have already used it for you. So some of them it's just built in. You wouldn't know you were using AI anyway. But to me, I think the way you start to explore it is you start with the challenges within your business rather than exploring tools. I'm seeing a lot of people now that are getting distracted by what they can do, but they never had a need for that. So they've just invented another way to use time when they were already short of time. So if I was to explore AI now, I'd say, what's the biggest challenge in my business? And once I've got that, I'd say, is there a way for AI to help with this? Because then at least as I start exploring it, I'm going to get some really quick wins out of it because I'll be applying it to something that is a genuine challenge in my business. That's what I would say in terms of taking your first steps. So with that in mind, and I think you've covered some of it, Val, but what would you say some easy AI tools are that glazing companies can try? So maybe not so much like the ones where it's built into the machine or the PPE. Some more basic stuff. What sort of things have you seen?
You see, even for example, in Chat GPT, you have such a thing that is custom GPTs. So basically, any of us can download, can feed our information to create custom GPT. And there are, if you go to GPT and open custom GPTs with just another tab, and you can search them by keywords, for example, glass, glazing, mirror, and you can find a lot of different custom GPTs. So these are made by different people, users like me or you, or maybe colleagues. This is what one of my ideas and thoughts is that probably in future, you at your website you will have not only your email, phone, maybe products, but you may have also your custom GPT. For example, let's say Sentivity or maybe maritime glazing company custom GPT. So you can go and ask that GPT, especially if it comes to some companies that provide some knowledge, some consulting, you can ask different questions. And now there are a lot of custom GPTs that you can ask, for example, about building codes. What kind of glass I need for this kind of opening, and is it temperate or whatever? Does it provide all right questions? It's we don't know. These are made by some people. Maybe they provide wrong information, but you can have some idea. You need to verify it, to check it, like anything else today. You need to know what you're doing. So if someone asks you, or maybe your manager makes a quote with some glass, you need maybe to verify or be sure that he makes it right. And maybe especially when you make some projects, you try to pass through different people, pass this project, these calculations, let's say, not just one guy just calculates everything. So anyways, you need to, but you can have some information, at least some information, some ideas. Sometimes AI can provide very interesting results. It can make, some kind of outside box thinking. when it provides some result that you say that, oh no, it's just like very weird and it doesn't make sense. But then when you think, maybe ask AI, why do you think so? It can push you to some interesting like thoughts and maybe sometimes inventions, because I didn't think about this. Why don't we do it? Oh, there are some obstacles. Can we remove them? Can we fix that, solve that challenges, or maybe obstacles? Okay. So it's a lot of potential. And in glass and glazing specifically, if we ask, these are the simplest tools. They are free. Custom GPTs, they are free to use. They are, as far as I remember, you need to have paid version to make your own custom GPT. But everything changes every day, every week. Today it's paid, tomorrow it's free, or vice versa. Sometimes you come and it's free tool because it's beta version or just coming up, and then tomorrow someone bought it or they try to monetize it and it's not free. So it depends.
I think that's why the biggest skill we need is flexibility, because it does just change the whole time, and that is, and I think we've probably got another 18 months, maybe 2 years of that. This is all the settling process that's taking place right now. And so that's definitely needed, that flexibility. It's interesting that you talk about the bot, because I think when we start, chatbot is almost like a buzzword, because it's something that we can all comprehend what it is. We've seen them on websites and so on. And I think you have a situation where you've got two ends of a spectrum. Either one, you just put any random chatbot. So there's a very, very good system, 11 Labs, which will do the audio version as well, so talking, natural language. But of course, it doesn't have your knowledge and expertise specific to your product. So the results will sound amazing, but whether they're actually accurate is we'll wait and see. On the other side, you absolutely train your own bot. Well, then you're going to get really good, accurate answers. But of course, it's hours, it's days and days of training your bot. And I think the bit is where we start getting tools coming in, a little bit like the custom GPTs, tools that basically bridge that gap. And in fact, I'm currently working on such a tool for the glazing sector, so I can see that happening in many sectors, where you end up with this, make it really easy for the company, the retailer, let's say, to use, but actually it's got a huge depth of knowledge that's accurate, because otherwise I see, and this kind of runs into what mistakes could people make. And I think I could see a situation where people just put up a chat bot, but actually it's going to the internet for the answer. So and if I then don't give it the correct question as the user of that bot, that's even worse. If I wanted to find out various things, even in the UK, as we're a tiny island, but we have different situation between England and Scotland. So I could very easily be getting the right answer back, but for the wrong situation. So I think there's going to be a whole set of easy to use AI tools like that come out, that are specific to different sectors, and they make it easy. What do you think some of the other mistakes people could make? What mistakes need to be avoided when people are taking on AI, do you think, though?
Just making no research, or maybe not asking people who use this kind of tools to understand what they are. So when you choose the wrong tool, and then you get bad result, and you say, "Oh, you see, it doesn't work. It's just people buzzwords, blah blah blah." And no, it doesn't. It's not worth to do it. So you need to have some good maybe advice, some good support from those who use or who suggest them, and maybe to be interested in conversations like this, or maybe to ask other people and see what is available. This is the first mistake.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think there's almost a community required around this whole thing where you've got that you've got the other people that are using it who can say, "Ah, I came across that issue as well. You know, this is
Mhm.
all you need to do. Actually, the tool's okay, but what I found is if I did this, I didn't get the
Mhm.
right response, but if I changed it to that, I did." You know, and
Yeah,
so I think the other thing is almost assuming that it just does everything. You know,
yeah,
it doesn't. Go back to, like, one of the previous videos where I said, "You've gotta treat it like an apprentice." It
yeah,
doesn't just do everything. It isn't actually a black box of, like, magic. That's not what it is. Um, it's AI is phenomenal in what it can do for us, but it's not perfect, you know? And we've got a long way to go still. Um, and even then, it will still need good people driving it. You know, I've got the drum kit behind me. There's nothing wrong with it. And on some days I get on and I sound terrible, and other days not too
mhm,
bad. Well, the drum
mhm,
kit didn't change. You know,
mhm.
I did. So,
That's right.
you know, so I think that's a good one to avoid. Don't A, blame the tool, but equally don't over trust the tool. Don't think it can just perform a miracle. It's not a miracle box. Um, we've had some really good conversations again, and I'd love to do some more. So, guys, if you've stuck with us for this video, if you've seen the others, great. If you haven't, do go and check them out. I'm sure we're going to be back talking again. I hope you agree with me. Val's got some huge insights into this topic, and I certainly find it interesting. I hope you do too. Thanks for sticking with us, Val. Again, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting.